Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
Wait a second. Yes, you've all heard the sweet little tale of Jack and Jill going up the hill to fetch a pail of water, but what most of you don't realise is, that's not the whole story. I'm Police Chief Mills, and when Jack first fell down and broke his crown and Jill tumbled down after, I was called in to investigate the truth. When I got to the scene, I was told a much different story. That's right, Jack didn't fall down by accident, as we all have come to believe. No, Jack was pushed. You heard me, Jack was pushed down the hill by none other than Jill. That's right, sweet Jill got into an argument with Jack and then pushed him down the hill. Turns out Jack was getting tired of Jill never carrying as much water as Jack was up and down the hill. But Jill claimed that she was carrying the same amount as Jack. But look at the different sizes in our buckets, Jack had stated. But your bucket is much shorter than mine. Jill argued that even though her bucket was smaller, it was still carrying the same amount of water. It was then when Jack called Jill a liar that Jill lost her temper and pushed Jack down the hill, causing Jill to slip and come tumbling after. True story. We gathered up the evidence from the scene and brought it back for analysis. Here we have Jack and Jill's buckets. At first glance, it seems like an open and closed case. Jack's bucket clearly looks bigger than Jill's, meaning that Jill was never carrying the same amount of water as Jack, right? Wrong. Our specialist team discovered the truth about the story. When Professor Bill looked at the buckets, he discovered that Jack and Jill's buckets, although looked different, actually had the same capacity. Which meant that if Jack and Jill both filled their buckets to the top, despite the different look of the buckets, both carried the same amount of water. Open and closed case, right? Jack was wrong about Jill not carrying the same amount of water, right? Wrong. Yes, Professor Bill is correct that both buckets have the same capacity, but our investigating analysis, Dr. Hill, discovered something even more shocking. She looked at the scene and what mess was left after the incident and discovered that the volume of water tipped out of Jack's bucket when he was pushed did not equal the same volume as Jill's bucket that remained up on the hill. Dr. Hill discovered that Jack's bucket was filled to its full capacity, but when Dr. Hill looked into the remains of Jill's bucket, she found that the volume of Jill's bucket was only half of its capacity. So, thanks to our knowledge on volume and capacity, we were able to find Jill guilty of being the one to push Jack down the hill, resulting in him breaking his crown, and once again set the story straight to what really happened that day when Jack and Jill fell down the hill.